Joining me now from the site of that RNC meeting is the Chief Strategist and Communications Director for the RNC, Sean Spicer. So Sean, you listened to that tape. That's a pretty remarkable, definitive statement saying in so many words that he's been playing a role just for public consumption. Have voters been lied to by the Republican frontrunner?
I don't think they've been lied to. Look, I think all the candidates we have talked to, them and their staffs, and they know what a great job that we're doing at the RNC to stay focused on the general election. Our job is to keep our head down, let them say what they have to say on the campaign trail to seek the nomination of our party.
But
in the meantime, we at the RNC
we're talking about his senior advisor, who he's just hired with the stated intention of making this race more serious. And after all, he is the Republican frontrunner by a number of delegates. And that advisor is saying it's a persona. That's the word he used. That's just a persona he's using in public. In reality, the real Donald Trump is something different. Is that a problem for the Republican Party?
No. Look, again, I'm going to let all the campaigns speak for themselves. We're honored that they all came down here, shared with us their vision to beat Hillary Clinton and seek the nomination of our party. We were down here focused on the business of the party, making sure that we're ready for the general, and I'll let each of those campaigns talk about their individual strategies.
Well, let me talk about what his advisor said specific to the RNC. In that same meeting, he said that the candidate is ready to work together with the RNC. However, as you know, as well as me, this is very different from what Trump says on the campaign trail. Have a listen to what Trump said at a rally on the very same day as that meeting.
The system is rigged. The voting is rigged. The whole deal is crooked 100%. And that's why you have a case where I go in and win with the vote, and these guys go and they buy delegates. They buy them dinners. They send them to hotels. The whole thing is a sham.
So I got to ask you, what's a sham? The party system, or is the claim by Trump that he's willing to work with you a sham?
Well, no. I mean, like I said earlier, I think Donald Trump, Governor Kasich, and Senator Cruz all understand the important role that the RNC plays in a general election, and that this RNC in particular, under Chairman Reince Priebus, is the best equipped, best trained RNC in political history. That being said, look, candidates are going to say what they have to say on the campaign trail. I know that he believes that the system is complicated. It's made up of our grassroots from all 56 state and territories around the country, but it is the most representative system that we have because it is that local grassroots that drives the system in each state. It allows a place like Iowa to have a caucus and a place like Virginia to have a primary. That's the beauty of it. It's not a Washington-dictated, top-down system. It's not a system like the Democrats have that's full of superdelegates, unelected party bosses that could undermine the will of the people. So, look, I also understand
a basic
that Mr.
question.
Trump, hold on. When Mr. Trump didn't have a problem when he got the majority.
Do you believe that Donald Trump wants to work with the RNC?
I know he does, absolutely, as do all the candidates. Yes, I know it 100%. They all understand the fabulous job that we've done and will continue to do. They know that we can't win without a great nominee, and they can't win without the RNC that we have.
Okay, so let's get to the other thing that came out of the meeting. You know, the reason for this meeting was to decide whether to change convention rules. Of course, as you know, the committee decided against that, even though Trump has said these things about it being rigged. How would you explain that decision to a voter, many voters, who are inspired by Trump and angry at the process?
Okay, so let's go back a second. This is our annual spring meeting. So the meeting didn't exist for the Rules Committee. It existed because we meet every spring and do the business of the party. We talk about budgets, our updated ground game. One of the things that occurs during every meeting is the RNC Rules Committee meets. What had happened is during that meeting, traditionally the RNC makes recommendations, simply that, a recommendation to the delegates at the convention on what we believe over the last 4 years the rules should look like for the subsequent 4 years. This year, Chairman Reince Priebus asked the Rules Committee of the RNC, because of the added scrutiny, to do nothing so that all decisions would be left up to the delegates and that there was no perception or idea that we were trying to tilt the game to one candidate or another. The committee followed his lead. We did nothing. We're going to make sure that every decision is left up to the elected delegates who've been chosen by our grassroots from coast to coast.
So that means if there are going to be rule changes to the convention, that's got to happen at the convention, you're saying?
That's right. And keep in mind that that's the job. Every delegate that gets elected, their job is to update the rules of the party, the platform, choose the nominee and vice presidential nominee. It's what's happened every 4 years since 1856. We're going to continue to follow the same exact process we have since the founding of our party, which ensures that the 2016 delegates that have been elected by the grassroots are allowed to institute a process for the 2016 convention and the subsequent 4 years, put changes into the platform that they want. The same way in 2012, that those 2012 delegates, largely belonging to Mitt Romney, were able to update the platform and the rules in accordance with what they thought needed to happen. Same thing happened in 2008, 2004, 2000, 96, 92. I could go on and subtract by 4 back to 1856, but you get the point.
I do get the point. Sean Spicer from sunny Florida, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.